The monastery of Saint Anthony the Great, Mar Antonio's Al-Kabir, is situated at a height of 950 meters above sea level in the celebrated valley of Qozhaya, the living treasure, in the Zghorda district of North Lebanon. The pine trees and oak trees cover the great hills surrounding it. Fruit trees of every description grow all along the valley, which extends into the valley of Kanyuban to form the Great Qadisha Valley, thus bearing witness to the history of eremitic life and the quest for holiness in Lebanon. Historians and scholars suppose that this monastery was first built and began to be occupied by hermits at the beginning of the 4th century. It was several times looted, set on fire and razed to the ground, but there still remain vestiges dating back to the 7th century. The monastery has always been the stronghold of eremitical life within the Maronite Church, as well as a school for the formation of monks. Its hermitages, in particular that of Saint Qozhaya, have always attracted ascetics wishing to live a life of mortification away from the world. It is worth noting that, according to certain sources, it was during the time of Patriarch Sergius Arezzi that in 1584 the first printing press was introduced into the East, and the Psalter was printed the first time in 1585. A second printing press was in Qozhaya in 1610, and the Library of the Holy Spirit University of Kaslik conserve a copy from the Psalter printed in that year. To be noted that, in the year 1994 the great underground basement of the monastery was restored and now serves as a museum in which are gathered what remains of the printing press of 1783 in various manuscripts, liturgical objects, ancient pottery, and a crosier offered by Louis IX, King of France. The museum was inaugurated on November 10, 1994, on the occasion of the opening of the celebration of the tricentenary of the order. In December 1998, the monastery Saint Anthony of Qozhaya, all the Valley of Qadisha and the Cedars of Lebanon were classified by the UNESCO as Worldwide Cultural Heritage. Saint Anthony, also known as Anthony of Egypt and Anthony the Hermit, was a Christian monk who lived in Egypt at a time of burgeoning Christianity in the 4th or 5th century. He was born c. AD 251. His parents, devout Catholics, died when he was 20, leaving their estate to his younger sister and him. He was inspired by Matthew's Gospel, "If you wish to be perfect, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me." Matthew 19 verse 21. He sold the share of his parents' estate and gave the proceeds to the poor and to churches. In AD 270, he embarked on a life of solitude, devoting himself to prayer and fasting. Through hard work and determination, Saint Anthony was the first monk to have eked out a life of holiness in that valley. Word of his piety traveled far and attracted many disciples, who were devoted to spiritual work, renounced secular pursuits and sought a deeper meaning of life. He organized his disciples into a community of monks that settled in the caves of the Qadisha Valley, where they devoted themselves to monastic life. According to Life of Anthony, written around AD 360 by Athanasius of Alexandria, a Christian theologian and one-time bishop of Alexandria for 45 years, Saint Anthony was a holy man who portrayed the ascetic way of life in Eastern and Western Christianity. A number of miracles have been attributed to him, especially for curing ergotism, also termed Saint Anthony's fire or the plague of fire, a fungal infestation in rye and wheat, which because of high levels of ergotamine can lead to nerve paralysis and ultimately to convulsions, coma and even death. Sufferers from the condition often sought relief from the relics of the saint. He died in AD 356 and his feast day is January 17th. Saint Anthony the Great is an inspiration for us that a life of humility and prayer need not be impaired by materialism. Praying for miracles. Saint Anthony's is well known for his miracles. You can visit the church and the grotto of Saint Anthony in a natural cave beside the church. The grotto has a reputation for miracles, drawing many pilgrims who brings their prayers to the saint. A visit to the monastery is a deeply spiritual experience, where the ambience is suffused with the prayers of those who passed through its narrow passages thousands of years ago. For pilgrims, it is an adventurous destination and in a beautiful natural setting, which is perfect for contemplating and exploring deeper Christian meanings. It must be mentioned here that the monastery of Qozhaya possesses a library containing archives, scholarly compendia and Syriac manuscripts. As in its early days, it is still a center of pilgrimage and prayer for those in search of a place suitable for prayer, recollection and solitude, and those wanting cures or advice. Pilgrims also come to consult the hermits Father Antoine Rizik and Father Johanna Kawand, and Father Dario Escobar. Father Escobar is from Colombia, who is living in the Hermitage of Our Lady of Jaca since August 15, 2000. The monastery remains a beacon of salvation and holiness. This is the fact that imparts to it all its beauty and fascination.